BumbleKast for January 3rd, 2024. My God. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Ian, why'd you have to remind me that it's 2024?
There is no escaping it. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back, all our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members, new and old.
Yes, but it's 2024, Ian. How did we
I know, the world was supposed to end like 24, 23 years ago, and they screwed it up, and now here we are.
Well, it was supposed to end like 24 years ago, or it was supposed to end 12 years ago, or it was supposed to end 4 years ago. I don't know. We're still here, and, well, I guess we might as well do something.
Unless it already did and we didn't notice, so welcome to the Purgatory Cast. I'm your eternally damned Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me in the pit of fire is Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Yeah, it is toasty here. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into these questions. We're going to start off with something from Bind of Edge. If the main Sonic and IDW cast were to be summoned as servants in the Fate series, what would their classes be?
Now, I'm not familiar at all with the Fate series, but Bind of Edge was kind enough to do a very quick rundown of like the primary classes.
Yeah.
So going by their description, I'm going to just rattle off here, call Sonic a Saber, Tails a Rider, Amy a Lancer, Knuckles a Berserker, and Tangle and Whisper are both casters in their own special way.
I have seen the characters of Fate Stay Night and Fate Grand Order and various other Fate games, but I have no idea who they are or anything about them. I just know what they look like. That's all I know about Fate. Fate is what you make of it. Wait, no, hold on. Here's one from Chaos Sonic 1. Since you're not head writer anymore, what was your favorite thing to write in IDW till now?
I have to pick one of my children and choose which one's favorite.
Most of them are villainous. Or at least revolve around villains, ironically.
I mean, everything was kind of fun in its own way, being able to start from scratch without any expectations and, make Neo Metal the big bad was fun to start off with. I think Metal Virus Saga has cemented its place as a big Sonic story, whether you like it or you don't. I don't think anyone will argue that it had an impact on the franchise, which is kind of humbling.
Mm-hmm.
The Seasons of Chaos, I think, maybe came together the best, but it's also a standalone, so it's easier to have a singular focus. But that one's just fun. Like, that one felt just cathartic and joyful in its construction.
That one was wading back into classic Sonic for the first time in forever, in a way that we haven't really seen.
It was testing a lot of new ground. Like, do we get Metal Knuckles? Can we touch Bean and Bark? And Fang. This is before Fang got his big resurgence. Can we use any of these guys? Or even the hard-boiled heavies? And, it was just nice. The fact that Tangle and Whisper got a mini-series with such a short turnaround time because they were that well received. That's just stunning. I don't know. There's a lot of highlights and a lot of stuff that I'm very proud of.
The Imposters, Starlines, Rise and Fall. It's been a heck of a ride, Ian. You've been busy.
Yeah, I'm not going too far. Don't worry.
No. Nope. Can't keep the Ian Flynn stink off the hedgehog for too long. Here's one from Daventhal. I noticed on the Holiday Tales tube that Omega once again mentioned the term Eggman's robots, which gave me war flashbacks to that infamous line Tails said in Heroes. But the name Badniks was canon to the games, wasn't it? I thought they were actually called that in the Genesis games. Is that name no longer usable in official stuff?
No, it's still relevant, but Badniks are like a particular class of Eggman robot. Omega is a equal opportunist destroyer. So Badniks or Fighter series or Pawn series or whatever else, if it's a mechanical thing built by Eggman, he will destroy it.
I thought it was just a nice reference and throwback to Omega's first appearance.
I mean, if that's how you want to take it, I'm not going to shoot you down either. If you find enjoyment in it that isn't intended, it was intended. Just don't question me about it.
I figured he was
happy, good.
Not necessarily intended, but I kind of took it that way. Just funny. It's just funny. So, and also I just like that term Eggman's Robots because of the fact that it was used as like the actual name. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Tails. Here's one from Dawson the Dachshund. During the holiday party at Restoration HQ, Surge accidentally gets some mistletoe stuck on the tip of her quills, and everyone notices except her and Kit. The question is, who dares?
Amy.
Dares
like everyone else is kind of dancing around the subject and trying not to make eye contact, and Surge is taking it the completely wrong way. And Amy's like, why is everyone being rude? We're trying to be supportive. She's got the mistletoe stuck on the... Oh, for pity's sake, Surge, what? You got mistletoe stuck on your spine. Oh, that's dumb. Yeah, I know. Merry Christmas. You too.
Oh. Dares point it out.
What other scenario could you possibly be leading me towards?
Well, you got us there. Oh, someone's going to clip that out of context. I'm being told that, Ian, you can't be a coward forever. Yes, he can.
It's the start of a new year. Allow me to stay in dry dock just a little longer, please. The flotilla is vast. It doesn't need another ship just yet.
No. Well, I mean, this one already sailed a while ago. Let's be real. Exadel has a question. In the Archie comics, we've seen Sonic transform into his ultrasonic form by both absorbing a massive quantity of power rings and using a super emerald. Do you think it's fair to say that if Scourge absorbed a comparable number of power rings, or used some kind of super barrel, that he would be able to become Ultra Scourge as well? Imagine how terrifying that would be. Hop on that, fan artists. That's what Exadel said. I'm not telling you to do that if you don't want to. You can be pretty cool, but
I mean, on the base level, sure, it makes enough sense. But this is the anti-universe, so it's almost inclines the question of how does this screw him over? Like in the antiverse, do rings have diminishing returns in terms of power? Because in the old Archie lore, a singular ring could grant you, an incredible physical boost or great insight or whatever the plot needed at the time. And, lots of them were a big deal. Like they were just as important as going super as the emeralds were half the time. So would anti-rings just be like increasingly less powerful the more you have? Like they become exponentially weaker and they kind of like drain the energy from you. So Scourge is like diving through piles of them, Scrooge McDuck style, trying to transform. And he's just getting winded for the effort. I don't know. That carrot on the stick scenario kind of makes me giggle. And by that token, the super barrel, never mind the insane lore that the Chaos Super Emeralds had in the Archie lore. Would a super barrel just blow him up?
Why not?
No environmental powers, no power boost, just power, boom, gone. Just a tattered jacket floating to the floor.
Just immediately turned to dust. Poof.
So we'll go the more fun route and say he's on Mobius proper and gets access to him, and there you get your Ultra Scourge. Remove the variables. Just let him be evil and overpowered for a minute,
Yes. Let his hubris get him. As it always does, because that's how he is. Here's GeoKnuckles with a question. What would Movie Vector sound like if he was voiced by Jack Black, the voice of Bowser in the Mario movie?
He'd sound like Jack Black.
Jack Black doesn't have a range. Well, he does. His range is Jack Black.
Yeah. And that's not to speak ill of the man. When you get him in the right role, he is phenomenal. And he has made a career out of being unapologetically himself. He is inspirational. He is fantastic. But Jack Black has his shtick, and that is being Jack Black. And it works. It certainly works. But asking what he would sound like, he sounds like Jack Black. And he creates another crooning ballad about vanilla that's kind of borderline innuendo. You're not sure. This is kids' media. And it becomes number one on the charts, and you asked me to sing it at some point, and it tears up my throat, but here we are.
Yes. That's what happens. But Vanilla wrote the song. That's the twist. Here's one from Gideon W. Sonic wakes up with a metaphorical bug in his ear and decides to change his life's pace. He starts going to Nermy Bucks daily to write while slowly working on his novel. How well do those around him handle this change?
Initially, no knee-jerk reaction. He likes to chill out every now and again, sleeping under a palm tree, hanging out, wherever. That's Sonic. It's fine. It's just the days, weeks, and months roll on, and he's still just chilling out with like that one cup of coffee, occasionally tapping on his chow fruit book. That's not a very elegant parallel, but whatever, I said it. And, then the concern starts to seep in. I mean, Amy's been on shift all day and he just hasn't moved. This doesn't make any sense. Tails has taken over protecting the world. Where is Sonic? Chapter 3, that doesn't bode well. Eggman finally storms the place and flips the table. Get out there and fight me!
Sonic just looks up like, nah.
Cake pop?
This is 100% a Boom episode. Yet again. It always comes back to Boom. Cannot escape it.
Boom Eggman trying to infiltrate the ranks of Nermy Bucks just so he can poison Sonic's coffee.
If there's one world where Nermy would be canon, it would be Boom, wouldn't it? Jesus. Can't we just relegate that to Adventures of instead?
Dave's the assistant manager. He has to clock out so he can go back to being a fry cook at Madburger.
No, he'd be told to clock out. He'd be like, clock out? What do you mean?
Dave, why do you need 2 jobs? Are you kidding? In this economy? There's only 2 stores on this island. You are the economy.
It's true. Here's one from Hearts 13. Josh Brolin's Sat AM Robotnik number 2. Please say these 3 Sat AM Robotnik quotes in the voice of Josh Brolin. A Thanos-like voice.
Are we pretending I can approach Josh Brolin's voice?
I don't know. I don't know exactly why this is being requested of you, Ian, but I mean,
I'm the one who does the bad voices, and Josh Brolin as that AM Robotnik would be fantastic, sure. But...
Are you gonna say no?
No, I'll give it my best, but let us go into this with the understanding I am not even pretending that this is remotely close to Mr. Brolin. So,
well, go for it anyway.
Let me get in character here. Dread it, run from it. It arrives all the same. There we go. A nice dream, but dreams are meant to be broken. If nothing else, you've been a most worthy adversary. But in every game, there are winners and there are losers. And as you know, in this game, losers get roboticized. I really hate that hedgehog.
There you go. Nice. Put a little echo on that and put a little extra on that, a little spice. Yeah.
Come back to that one bloody water trap and chemical plant zone. Where does your failure bring you? Back to me.
Yeah. All right, here's one from Jara. Lyric the Ancient has found out about Metal Gear and intends to infiltrate the facility where it is held using the advanced technology known as cardboard boxes. Only one group of people stand in his way of opposing him, the original Diamond Cutters. Can they stop this snake's solid plans of obtaining Metal Gear and using it to dominate the world?
See, I'm just envisioning this cardboard box with Lyric's tail poking out from under it as he just kind of scoots around like a Roomba, and that cracks me up.
Too bad we'll never see Lyric again.
Also, given how incredibly large and cumbersome that mecha suit of his is, he's in like a refrigerator box. We're talking like a full-on shipping crate. We're not talking tiny cardboard box. So you've got this lumbering monolith of cardboard trying to slither its way into Shadow Moses. No, he doesn't get in there. The Diamond Cutters catch him at the front gate.
He'd be making huge clunking noises. Yeah.
It becomes a Looney Tunes sketch of them just kind of casually giving him the boot in various directions. The only reason he makes any progress is they want to train themselves. So, okay, let him into this corridor. What happens when we have to scramble and catch up from this point? You know, he's only getting there through pity.
You know, that sounds about right. And thus explains why we've never seen Lyric again. And never will.
You know, in the original Metal Gear, we don't actually get to see Decoy Octopus, really, when you get down to it. I mean, I know you do, but, you know, he isn't really as interactable as the others.
Yeah.
So in this scenario, Mimic is just told to sit out because he wants to just kill the guy. Come on. He's right there. let me just finish him. No, Mimic, this is fun. You go sit in timeout. I'm gonna.
All right, here's one for Miles per Hour Davis. What would Sonic talk about on a Ranty Run podcast or any of the main cast? What would they rant on about?
I can't see Sonic being on a ranty cast. I could see him just sitting back and casually
chatting.
The expression I keep wanting to use is not something we use on Family Program. Just casually chatting with everybody that comes in.
Casually,
you know, what's on your mind?
Casually bull crapping.
Yeah, sure. What's on your plate? What you got going on? You want a ranty cast? That's Eggman, especially if you make it Boom Eggman.
Yes.
If you can get Amy impassioned enough, I could see her starting in on a ranty cast, but she also would try to keep things light and positive for the most part.
Eggman is J. Jonah Jameson of the MCU. Let's not kid ourselves. And Styx is his co-host.
Boom Eggman invites Styx in. I completely don't agree with your conspiracy theory. One episode later, I've done a 180. Now I believe in your conspiracy theory. This is now my personality for the rest of the show.
That's exactly what happens. That's how these podcasts
in the
work.
Veiled Commentary? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh. And Surge is just sitting in her car ranting. That's what she does. She sits in her. No, she doesn't sit in her car. She sits in her big ass truck.
I mean, if you thread together all the angry TikTok she films in her car, then yeah, that's a ranty cast. But it's a different delivery system.
Yeah. It's true. She wears the trucker hat and the sunglasses and everything. Yep. Oh boy. All right. And we're going to make people real angry with this one right here from Morless. Amy decides that kissing all of her friends sounds very appealing, so she tries to form a polycule. How successful is she?
Not very, because as open and as accepting as all of her friends are, they also enjoy a little bit of personal space. You know, they will fully support her in her personal endeavors, but, you know, making it a quintuple or whatever, no, that's not how any of them roll.
No. You know that little notifier on Discord? So when people are typing, several people are typing. Oh boy. Here's one from Nova Poly Duo. All right, there's only so much secrets we can keep. We, the people, must know. How does Boomsonic keep his lunch down while going so fast?
No, the G forces of his running just keep everything down.
I mean, yeah, the force.
And then when he stops, he just does like a little 180 turn so the centripetal force keeps it in place.
Yeah.
It's physics.
It's fine. Yeah. Why is it specifically Boomsonic? It's because
if anyone was going to make a running gag about having to barf on the go, it would be Boomsonic.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Maybe Adventures of, but
maybe. And before we take a break, JCR1216 has a bit of a request. Yo, Ian Flynn, can you sing the Firefly theme?
I certainly can. Let's cue that up. Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. Don't care, I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me. Take me out to the black. Tell me I ain't coming back. The land and boil the sea. You can't take the sky from me. There's no place I can be since I found serenity. You can't take the sky from me. That goes way faster than I remember.
Yeah, it's short.
Sure, I just remember the tempo being like half of that.
Oh. No. That's about right.
It would work with a half tempo. Anyway, as our first musical interlude of the episode, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, there will be more questions here on the BumbleKast.
We're back, and we got a giveaway question here. That's, of course, if you follow us on our social media accounts, you get the chance to possibly get a priority question of your own answered as our special weekly giveaway. This one comes to us from Blue Sky, courtesy of Waffle. I'm an OG Sally fan, watched Sat AM as it was coming out, so my first question to y'all is about her. Watching Archie Sonic video and its background music got me thinking, what classic era songs do you associate with Sally? If no classic songs come to mind, do you have any songs that do?
Classic era?
Yeah.
So like the Zone themes.
Sure, which is an interesting thought.
You're better at the music trivia than me. Wood Zone. Did it have a beta track to it?
No, it was just reusing Metropolis.
Ironic. No.
Not that one.
You know what? We're going to work backwards here.
Okay.
Something that's very light and airy and energetic, but feels kind of natural. First thing that comes to me is Windy Valley.
Yes.
But that's modern Sonic. Except
nope.
The track was originally used Green Grove Zone in 3D Blast, which is a classic game. Checkmate.
Boom. You nailed it. You got it in, 2, I guess. I suppose. I guess you got it in 2.
I got it. That's what's important. Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe Palm Tree Panic from Sonic CD, the Japanese version specifically. Maybe. Also kind of get like a Metropolis, like a Mobotropolis sort of vibe, maybe from Stardust Speedway.
Yeah, maybe
the good the present or good future versions. Maybe have the American soundtrack. But yeah, I think any one of those I think would work. Here's a question from Pickley Pack. Does Scourge's father have a name? If not, what name would you come up with now?
Well, in the Antiverse, everyone was already named the same as the Primeverse, just like Anti in front. Although, depending on which part you read, they just call themselves that name anyway.
That name, yeah.
So it would just be Jules or Anti-Jules. The whole new naming convention didn't really come about till Scourge came in, kicked the entire planet over, and said, "We need to shape up. New names."
Well, there was Onux, I guess, technically.
Yeah. Did he call himself that?
I don't remember.
When they first met him? I'm pretty sure it was just Anti-Knuckles.
Yeah, or just Knuckles. Like, I think the Anti was there just to make it clear to the reader, but I don't know. But I'm being told that he did call himself Onux.
Did he? Okay.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that was his given name, but I don't know. Here's one from Rabbit Haver. Since like 90% of the Sonic cast knows how to drive, let's get silly with it. What were their driving lessons like? Who do you think crashed the most while learning? Whose car has a traffic cone or unfortunate civilian lodged in the wheel well? Does Silver even actually know how to drive, or is he just using his telekinesis to move the car while making vroom vroom noises with his mouth?
He comes back to the present day and he sees, modern traffic and he goes, wait, they're supposed to move?
Oh, that's how that works.
Oh, the tires turn. Neat. The thing is, he played around in all the dystopian cars. So yeah, flying around the TK going, meow, meow, he's got that down pat. He's great. The minute that you actually set him down and make him drive properly, he's terrible.
Well, yeah.
Now you turn off the ignition and just tell him to drive with the power of TK, and he's great again. A+, triple star.
Yeah.
Blaze, I imagine she can't, because she doesn't have that tech on her world. It's not something that she's familiar with.
But she can sail a hell of a ship.
Does she sail it, or is Maureen the one actually doing all the sailing?
Don't think about it too hard.
Yeah, I don't want to. Eggman is the worst because he has road rage. Instantaneous, unbridled road rage. And you try to fit that guy into like a compact or something that doesn't have tires as tall as he is. He doesn't know what to do with it.
K-car. We have actually seen Sonic's driving test. That's where Kip the Capybara is from the what was it, the 30th anniversary? Yeah, the 30th anniversary issue for IDW, the special. I'm being asked, how does Tangle drive?
Reasonably well. Bit of that whole distracted driver type of deal, but if she takes her eyes off the wheel, the tail will at least come in.
The tail helps.
Well, she can keep both hands at 10 and 2 and, grab food with the tail, change the radio.
Exactly.
Fix the mirrors, make gestures out the window.
I was going to say flip people off. Yes.
Grab said people who cut her off, pull them back behind her with said tail.
Exactly. All right. Here's one from Scourge Time. Moebius, 30 years later. What's going on over there? We know Sonic had to deal with King Shadow and became king himself. But what happened to Scourge in this timeline? Or did you already have something in mind back in the day?
I don't think I went that route because it's really hard to pick a direction.
Yeah.
Like, the whole appeal of the Antiverse is the one-to-one, as best you can, antithesis of what the Prime world does. And in that regard, the world is largely at peace. Sonic has his happily ever after. He's found humility and mellowed out some, blah, blah, blah. So the antithesis of that would be, of course, the world is dystopian and Scourge hasn't learned anything and he's all on his own and it's ruinous. But that's predictable. Like, you can see that coming from a mile away. And it kind of robs that world of any of the agency that we started to build for it with Scourge's transformation onward. Like, for all of his villainy and poor decisions, he was trying to break the Antiverse away from just being the Mirrorverse. Having everyone choose new names, having people shake up their allegiances, trying to break the mold so that they were different. So what might be interesting is to see an anti-Mobius 30 years later that does go in its completely own path. Something wholly divorced from the main series, and see the characters have grown in their own unique direction. The only problem with that is so much creative time and energy spent on the knockoffs. Why are we spending that time on that material when we could be doing it in the Primeverse, in the main storyline, or Blaze's world, or Silver's future, or even the 30 years later itself, explore that a bit. Why are we spending so much time on the not Sonic and the not Freedom Fighters in the not relevant other future thing?
Because Scourge is insanely popular.
I know. I'm still surprised Prison Break even got greenlit, because that was like almost completely devoid of actual Sonic representation, or at least easily digestible.
Yeah, but so Scourge is extremely popular, Ian.
Yeah, I know. So that was at least the thinking at the time. That was where our priorities were lying. Nowadays, free and clear, since that's all kind of defunct. I don't know. You explore yourself, man. Go for it. Nothing is wrong necessarily. And if you need a prompt, there's your 2 prompts right there. Like, what does Anti-Mobius look like if they are locked into being the anti-future? And how do they respond to that? Because they are now well aware of what their relationship is in the multiverse and on the grand cosmic stage. Are they fighting against their fate? Is there something tragic to that? Or do they manage to break free? And the antiverse is now kind of losing that definition as it becomes its own reality. Either one could be rich with opportunities.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's go on to this next question. It's from Snowpear. In your opinion, what's a general rule of thumb to keep in mind when writing Starline? Any tips for maintaining voice and characterization?
Surprisingly hard to articulate this, just because, I know, I kind of grew up with the character, and it became something I just inherently knew.
You grew up with Starline? You were there the whole time?
Well, from his birth to his death, so to speak.
Oh, okay. His birth to his death, not your birth.
I guess Evan picked up the torch from there, but Evan also worked closely with me. She was there she's primarily the reason where a lot of his characterization came from, since she designed him. So, she knows him as well as I do. It's not like I had to instruct anyone on this. So how do you deconstruct Starline as just like here's how you make a Starline guy? I guess he's always the smartest guy in the room, whether that's legitimate or not. He thinks he is, and more than likely he will be, but that level of arrogance creates a short-sightedness that can be played with.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's always a sense of style and, in most cases, suaveness when he is in control, or when he thinks he's in control. He doesn't go full bombastic like Eggman or threatening like Zavok. He relishes being cool and in control. There's a smugness to it. Maybe that's it. Just one word: smug.
Yeah. I mean, that's
insufferably smug.
That's his whole thing.
And once that veneer cracks, he kind of implodes. But there is that desire to regain control so that he can be smug. And that is like his motivator. Even when he's at his lowest, it's, okay, I have failed. I have been trumped. How do I get back to where I am in control and can rub it in their faces? Mm-hmm. The only time where he kind of like lost it entirely is when he had won, and then Eggman just completely took him apart. And there was no room for him to pretend that he could regain control. But that was the end of his arc anyway. That's not standard Starline. So smug, suave, and sincere. For all the lying that he does, he really does wear himself and his intentions on his sleeve.
I guess that's one way to put it. I don't know. When I think of Starline, I don't really think sincere, but that's just me. Anyway, let's go ahead and carry on. We got this question here from System 509. In Doctor Who, there's a godlike being named the Celestial Toymaker. He's kind of like Mr. Mxyzptlk, who challenges people to games of their choosing, and if he loses, he grants the winner a wish and goes away. If he wins, however, the loser is turned into a toy and added to his collection. So I'm curious, what games would Sonic & Co. challenge him to? Cheating is an instant loss, by the way, and could you please include Tangle, Whisper, Surge, and Kit?
All right, so Tangle challenges him to jump rope. Whoever misses the beat first loses. And she and her tail have practiced their entire lives.
Yeah.
She ain't going to lose.
No, she's good.
Whisper, sharpshooting. Again, not going to lose because her ammunition will change direction if she misses and hit the target for her. And that's not cheating because she's using sentient ammo. That's baked into her kit. You can't say that she's cheating because that's just part of her power set.
It's a heat-seeking missile.
Exactly.
But it's alive.
Surge plays tag for keeps. Like if you actually manage to tag her, she's going to get you right back, and it's probably going to be like being hit by and it's probably going to be like being hit with a defibrillator.
Mm-hmm.
So even if the toy maker wins, he's probably going to lose. Depends on how sturdy that celestial heart of his is. And Kit offers to play a game. How long can you hold your breath?
Oh no! Oh no! Wow! Is that it?
We'll just do one more Sonic. He challenges him to an obstacle course.
With all the loop-de-loops and corkscrews and everything you can possibly need.
Yeah, get to the end and back in time. This game's winner is...
It's true. Here's a question from the One True Blue. When I was a kid and playing Sonic Heroes for the first time, I used to wonder what it would be like to make a custom team out of the characters. My team is Cream as the flight type, Espio as the speed type, and then Omega as the power type. What teams would you guys make up?
Nowadays? Shoot, I'd just like to throw names into a random selector and see what pops out and have fun with that.
That would be fun.
Do a trio of Knuckles, Shadow, and Charmy and see how long and how far they can get before they murder the boy.
Oh, no. I don't think Knuckles would.
No, Knuckles would protect his friend, but he would understand Shadow.
Yeah, he'd get it, but he'd be like, no. We're not going to do that, Shadow. I get it, but no. Oh, man. Let's see. I mean, I'd go for Team Overpowered. That'd be fine. We Blaze, Silver, and Mighty. Or barring Mighty, Shadow, I guess. But I don't want Shadow on my team. I have enough Shadow as it is. I don't need any more. Alright. Here's one from Twilord. Deathspawn era Herald accesses the internet. Black Arm seemed good at that. And goes Christmas shopping. What does he buy for Shadow, Tails, Cheese, and whoever else? Does Black Oak era Herald handle Christmas shopping the same way?
Herald being a Deathspawn has like maybe a neuron, something that registers light versus dark and hungry versus not hungry. So if it accesses the internet, the best it's going to do is like find the first Google search term for gifts for Shadow, which, maybe gets him like a Shadow puppet diorama or boxing gloves for shadow boxing or who knows what else.
Oh, good. He has the one brain cell.
Like Tails is probably going to wind up with like novelty tails that hang off of someone's rear view mirror. You remember those foxtails, the tennis ball with like the streamer attached to the end that you would just throw and watch it bounce? Those.
Whatever comes up first for Tails.
Yeah, Cream's going to get like moisturizers or something because that's all he can do is, and interact with the internet. And the fact that it winds up in the appropriate dresses is a miracle.
Whipped cream.
As for fully grown Black Oak, he just kind of thunders into a department store. There is now a Herald-sized hole where the door used to be, and he picks out the first three things he finds and walks out the door. That is now shaped like him.
I was going to say, does he go out the front door, or does he go out the door he made for himself?
Exactly. As for what he grabs, it doesn't really matter. He has no idea what, the exchange of goods and services are. He doesn't have any kind of material sense of desire. It's, the holidays. Get thing for person. There is a thing. I will give it to person. Mission accomplished.
Who let him run free? Wait, no, hold on. This is Shadow. Never mind. the Shadows kid. And as soon as you say that, everybody understands immediately. Here's one from WB Player. Ian, if you had the chance to write an Eggman Nega story, what would you write to make the character acceptable to you?
It's his final moments in Chaotic Inferno as he reflects on just how bad of a character he was and accepts his fate.
So his death scene?
Yes.
Well, I mean, that's one way to do it. All right, here's a question from Woods. If Tangle had the sword from Sonic and the Black Knight, Caliburn, what do you think would happen and what conversations would you think they would have? Any chaos?
No more than Sonic and Caliburn, I imagine. I mean, Tangle would want to, be a good knight, but she's also not the most disciplined individual in the world, and Caliburn's a bit of a stickler. But boy, howdy, the combos you could get with like one-handed swipe, two-handed swipe, tail swipe, cartwheel swipe. Like she is finding new and inventive ways to dice things up with that sword.
Yeah. Just as long as she doesn't like hit her tail with it. Because that would be bad.
She has like an uncanny sense of where that thing is at all times.
It's weird.
Now, where she is in space at any given time, that's a bit more of a dice roll. But the tail, nah, she's fine with the tail.
All right, and we got a question from Zaylock. We know what Starline would do if he were to find out he was in a licensed comic book, same with Surge, but what if Pre-Boot Eggman found out? He came really close to this with his realization of the Chaos Force Sonic has, which always makes his plans fall apart in the end, but he never managed to put two and two together. But what if he did, and made the same realization that Surge did, that he legally wasn't allowed to ever win completely or kill Sonic? Would any of his servants even believe him in the slightest if he shared this realization? If he ever did figure this out, though, then it was nice knowing you, Ian.
I mean, that might be fun to explore a little bit, where he's trying to build some version of the Ultimate Annihilator to wipe out the other existence. Because if there is no greater reality dictating his moves, maybe he's finally free to do his thing. Except right before he fires it, he realizes without it, maybe there will be no continuation of his universe. Not enough data. Doesn't want to take that gamble, switches it off. Have him pursue a few options of breaking the fourth wall and invariably not being able to, because that's what the narrative dictates. And so decides, all right, well, fine. If he can't have full command over the narrative, he will do everything that he can do and just make things absolutely miserable for Sonic. So it's almost a Lex Luthor Superman type of equation. You can't beat the main hero, but you can sure make the rest of his life terrible.
Sounds good. Get to work, Eggman.
As for the other minions, no, nobody would believe him.
No.
They think he'd really lost it, but he's also the man in charge. So
Yeah. Here's a question from Zetamax. Omega calling Eggman's robots worthless consumer models got me thinking. Can you just buy a badnik from Eggman? An egg pond to clean around the house? A motobug to ride to work? What badniks would you buy to do chores and patrol the Bumble compound?
Here's the thing. In battle, he does build the guard robos that are, Chaos Gamma with a different color palette.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the robot characters in Zero Gravity are all tech from MediaTek, which is his company, which I think he, sells off under like a shell corporation type thing. So I think he does have a few businesses where he just produces robots, worthless consumer models.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't really advertise that they're from him because, kind of a poison pill marketing wise.
That's where you get the egg maids.
Have I ever terrorized you? Do you want that power for yourself? Call EggTech today.
We know Eggman sells unlicensed Sonic merch. That's where all the stuff that's Sonic and Tails and Amy and Knuckles shaped comes from. Like, oh. Yeah. And finally, our last question is from Hero Squad. Can Ian sing Nobody's Hero from DKC?
I will do my best.
This is the Donkey Kong Country cartoon, by the way, in case you're wondering what the heck Hero Squad's talking about.
I don't know what's happening to me. I'm getting all the blame for things I didn't do. Can anybody tell me just what I did wrong? I'm all alone and I'm so confused. I don't know what everyone wants me to be. I only know just how to be me. Once I was the ape of the owl, but they think I'm a cow. An absolute zero, I'm nobody's hero. An absolute zero, I'm nobody's hero. I'm nobody's hero. That's it. That's the song.
That's the song. Okay. I wasn't sure.
You weren't listening along
No.
to this jam?
No, I
This
was.
absolute funktastic
No.
DK mix?
Ian, I can't listen because it'll override you.
Oh, fair enough.
And it'll be all out of sync and I'll have to do it. I'm being told I have to sing it. No, I will not. I refuse. Your $5 only gets you Ian singing it, not me.
Well, we're not going to end on that uplifting tune. We are instead going to give a big thank you to everyone who supported the show back in December 2023. You guys are amazing. We have almost hit 250 names on this list, so let's get cracking. Big thank you to our patrons, Daniel H., Jennifer R., John B., Mismatch Moogle, Robotnik Home, Sam Cybercat, Almighty Lantern, Andrew D., Torchbound, Mike B., Triforce Ruku, Salute Your Cat, Dave M., J. Frost, Scurvy Pirate Hog, Hero of Light 13, Coupling Crew 128, Do As Dizdin, Professor Scruffy Matt, Chris A., Chaos Sonic 1, Twilord, Sony, John M., Sonic, Joshua S., Jib, Lisa M., Lee H.K., Stardust Spectre, Axis Chevelle, Starlight Sec, Cameron H., The Discayan, Z Broadcast, Tick Tick, Mixiger 17, Det Guy Jimmy, Jonathan D, Jara, Jolene B, Godzilla, Thievius, Nondal, Hearts 13, Ava Arctic, Dove, Morless, Tetsia the Wise, Independent, Jennifer H, Just a Mountain Soul, Quaggle Gaggle, Ashter, Alex KR, Rocco D, Sandra BH, Angela V, Alphamon Oryukin, Nova Polyduo, Jack the Animator, Justin S, Chaos Researcher, Wildcard 717, Genzel, Icy Wolfie, E200 Paragon, Of the Stars, Dabbler the Dalek and Tails, Sonic Legacy, Puppy the Scholar, Sonic 84, Les, Sammy S, Daniel B, Red the Supernamic, The Marble Gardener, Chad, Miles the Prower, Navari, Exidel, Agent Cast, 4 Sonic Fan, Fang, Rhythm and Tempo, Ozjam, Shimmy M, Curly Quills, Smiley 21, Sterling Sonic, Cool Christy 1, Kaga, Windskull, Supernova, Superior Pizza, Sonic Padge, Ty H, Pig Dan, Derucible, Planet Breezy, Michael Q, Thigoff, Niels, Omega Man 21, Preston M, Levi C, Unity, Noah M, Samoth S, Kojiro Highwind, SP, the ID card, Jonathan F, Supersonic Fan, Chase L, Radri, Knuckles, Semich, Dewdrop, Icon PNG, _ Turtle Tuck, Adrian W, Kazi, Alolan Figment, Glitchiest, Spoiler 1001, Amazing, Nick C, Ezequiel M, Alejandro 333777, Loose Subliminal, In Zephyr, William M, The Phantomist, OK Cheesestick, Gino the Puppet, Miggy Sawdust, Lemur Chicken, The Oddly Roger, Aster C, North Salt 15, Relaxed Hoodie, Vlad, Angel Fox Kitsune, All Peachy, Swidemo, Chunka S.A., Gideon W., Boy King Elias, Michael P., Soul Dice, Pickley Pack, Absalom M., Ziyuga A. Tomek, Alex Ball 2G, Aqua Stinger, Snow Pear, Switchell, The Real True Actual Sonic, Sebastian P, Sonic Mania 2099, Caswell, Mr. Bird, The Giant Murdering Bird, Lucky Lychee, Lovo Meline, Daventhal, Alice B, Astro Speed P, Native Nerd 27, Noob 600, Ultra Guy, Crowbo, Hadronis, John Melodillo, The Recusant, Paley, DDR Master M, Blake, Gihanna S, Cat Van Bryan, The Man of Multimedia, Foofy 93, Mr. Snippy, Marky Marcus, Raccoon Shinobi, Normal Person, Marcy H, Bunza Fluff, Senior Lazy Man, Cherry H U, Florian, Call Me Ryan, Onion Girl, Candy Bee, Big Mama, Beacon, Mr. B, Shotgun Elephant, The One True Blue Deluxe, Vaz Alkaloid, Silly Sarcasm, Tara W, Button Z, Miss Hangshen 95, Bert, Random Space Marine, Blue Printed Salmon, Carly J, June S, John T, Ryan J, Sanic Details, and big thank you to our YouTube subscribers, Jamal S, Wheels282, Hedgehog, Meta Mode, Frost the Hobbidon, Dandy Light, Buttered Noodles, El Technopada, True Cosmic Digilabs, Hero Squad, Kaizen Amen, Woods, Quentin D, Hedge, Geo Knuckles, Zach D, Nate R, Sunblister 16, Alan S, JCR 1216, Babzilla, Bind of Edge, and thank you to our supporters over on Ko-fi, Rabbit Haver, Finest Cacophony, Hattuck, Scourge Time, Sprites Forever, Steph Cube, Dawson the Dachshund, Pacifist Cowboy, and Excel Hedge.
That's YouTube members, Ian. We don't have time to sit here and read 6,000 plus names.
Big thank you to our YouTube members. Patch that in there, smart guy. It already sounds like I'm falling down the stairs half the time. Get to work.
That's gonna be fun. Good job.
We have new people in different areas, so the cadence that I've gotten used to over the past year gets thrown off.
Exactly. Lots of people keep saying, why don't you just make it like a scroll at the end of the video? Well, how do you do a scroll in the audio-only podcast version? Smart guys.
Unless, if it gets too big, we might just have to say, and check out the YouTube version for the thank you list. Or put.
Then I have to have two. Then we have to have two different separate versions of audio.
Well, we're already recording this kind of separately.
No, we're not.
Well, whatever. You got to chop it out and place it up.
I'll beam it directly into your brains. That's what I'll do. Oh man,
Kyle learns telepathy just so he doesn't have to do as much work.
Yeah, I would do that. Something stupid like that.
Rolls out in the Professor X chair. Suddenly I'm full of thanks. What in the world?
Learning more learning to do something even harder in order to try and make something else easier. And then failing at both. Absolutely outstanding. 250 people almost. How did we do this, Ian? How did we do this?
I don't know, but at this rate, we're going to hit 250 for sure before 2024 is out. We just got it started.
200, yes. Imagine us hitting 250 supporters. Incredible.
Absolutely insane. Happy New Year, everybody. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
I'm nobody's hero. I'm just a zero. This cartoon is so... It's certainly a cartoon.
What's happening to me? Yeah. An absolute zero. I'm nobody's hero. The thing is, this is kind of a jam.
I know.
I kind of dig it, and I hate that. One more try. I don't know what's happening to me. An absolute zero. I'm nobody's hero. It's so stupid, man. It's going to be stuck in my head for days. All right, here we go. Presumably for realsies until I botch the first line and scream obscenities and we start over.
All right. We'll just have 10 minutes of you fighting for your life to try and sing a song that only lasts for 2 minutes.
I don't know what's happening to me. Nope, see, I told you. I don't know what's happening to me. No. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. You should also give Kyle compliments.
No, don't do that, please. That is wholly unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. Morley's, stop lying.
You don't even know. Appreciate a good person.
You guys don't even. You don't even know what I look like. You don't know what I'm like in real life. Scruffy Matt, get away. You don't know how I smell.
Oh, but I do.
Yep, Jen does. I'm a good man? Shit, I have you fooled. Thank you, TDR Master M. That's the best one yet.
You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
I don't know what's happening to me. I'm getting all the blame for things I didn't do. Can anybody tell me just what I did wrong? I'm all alone and I'm so confused. I don't know what everyone wants me to be. I only know just how to be me. Once I was the ape of the owl, but they think I'm a coward. An absolute zero, I'm nobody's hero. An absolute zero, I'm nobody's hero. I'm nobody's hero.